Hi guys, it's Monique from earlylearningmom.com. This week I am participating in a not back to school blog hop, and basically I'm going to be sharing about homeschooling with autism, and in my blog I'm also going to be linking to some other families that are sharing their not back to school week topics. And it's a great way for us to explore and meet other bloggers and hopefully vloggers. So my primary way of sharing this blog hop, that would be my cats. I think I complain about my cats every video. If you are a regular subscriber, this should be like, you know, when you're reading a Mercer Mayer little critter book where you find the little spider or the little frog. Well, you got to find in the video where I complain about my cats causing problems. It's just the way it is. Anyhow, so my main topic will be on my blog, but I like to come here and just make a little video to kind of introduce the topic to my YouTube viewers, and if they want, they can click in the description below and click the link and jump into the actual blog post. So basically, today I'm going to be talking about homeschooling your child with autism. And honestly, I have to say, it is the best decision that I have made for Zakari. His father believes so. Other people that see him developing and growing understand that he's better off at home with me, where we have the opportunity to tailor his education to him. Is homeschooling for everybody? I think homeschooling could be doable by everybody, but not everybody's called to it. And so I think you really need to follow your heart and your calling and decide whether it is for you. There are a lot of great public schools, great private schools, and families just have to make that choice. For us, it was a no-brainer. We went to one meeting with the school and our gut screamed no. And so for us, we just said no, and we're standing by that. And I don't know if Z will ever go to public school or private school, but I don't want to ever say never, because I don't know. Maybe one day he will want to, and maybe it'll be the right decision. You can hear my kitty playing. Of course, it's witching hour for them. I always seem to film during witching hour. So that being said, in my blog post, I discuss things like the pros and cons to homeschooling. There are pros and cons to everything. I believe that your child will get a better tailored education. I believe that the one-on-one that they will get is so beneficial. I believe the positive environment, being taught by something that truly loves them and truly wants them to be to learn and to grow. I think the safety aspect of not having to worry about, is your child going to elope and wander? Are they with somebody that is going to lose their patience and hurt them? You know, most teachers and educational assistants are amazing, 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 top-notch people. But there's the odd apple, and you know, we just, for me, I want to protect my child, and I'm able to. That's the thing. I'm blessed to be in a position that I can do this. There are some families that can't make it work, or it's not the right season of life, and that's okay as long as you're involved with your child. But there's cons to homeschooling as well. I mean, it can be costly. I know, like for our school division, it's not a big thing because speech and language and OT, you get like consultative visits. Your child may see a speech therapist and an OT once every couple of months. So to us, that's not a sales feature to go to public school. However, some families in certain states and provinces, if their child is enrolled in a public school, will get amazing supports like that. So in order to homeschool and to get those supports, you usually have to pay out of pocket, or if you have a good insurance company, that might cover it too. it involves, so it can be costly there. It will either cost you time or money for curriculum. There is lots of free curriculum that you can find, but it involves, more research, more finding books, more pulling things together. But then there's also prepackaged curriculums or workbooks or different things you can piece together as well that cost money. So I know some states have funding if you're with a charter school or you're I don't fully understand all the details because it's not an option in the province that I'm in, but those come with strings attached, where you have teachers, you have to report to a teacher and share, like, they may have some control over what you teach and what you don't teach. So in our province, we just have to report. So the system is quite easy. I report in September that I am homeschooling and send in kind of like a rough plan. It vary like 1 or 2 sentences for each of the subjects that are required. January I send a progress report, and then at the end of the year I send the final report. I choose to put mine detailed. A lot of families just leave them one-liners, and that's the end of it. Some states require a lot out of parents. But that being said, it can easily be put together. So for some parents that might be a con. But at the end of the day, relating the pros and the cons, and the cons may be, another con may be less of a break for mom. It is difficult to raise a special needs child. It's difficult to raise a typical child these days, but I believe the ability to have that say in your child's life, and the bonding and the experience of being the one to teach your child to read, or teach your child, with special needs to walk or talk. Being involved every day is definitely worth, for me, the price of the cons. The pros outweigh the cons 100 times fold. And so we make it work. And I believe that any family that really wants to make it work, whether it's a dual working family or a single mom or a single dad or whoever, there are ways around it. You can Google how single moms homeschool, and how families that require 2 incomes, both mom and dad working, homeschool. We're a dual income family. I found a way to work from home. I run a home daycare, and that works really well for our family at this current time. Will it be always that way? I don't know. We may have to step back at some point and decide that maybe homeschooling is the priority. It always is the priority, but I mean, we're going to have to look at that and decide in different seasons of life, as homeschooling becomes more intense, where we're going to have to make sacrifices in order to lower my workload or my husband's workload, or it would probably be mine. But this is all things you roll with the punches, and so yeah, that is just kind of a quick ramble about homeschooling with autism and why I'm so passionate about it, some pros and cons, and you can get a more, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, you can get a more detailed synopsis, I guess, about what, the pros and the cons and everything of homeschooling with autism. So be sure to stay tuned, subscribe, and click the notification bell so that way you will get notifications when I upload my next video. We are going to continue in the homeschooling with autism series. I'm going to talk this week about different subjects like read out louds with autism, like using read out louds in your homeschool with autism, teaching your child with autism to read, fine motor skills with autism, and curriculum selection with autism. So be sure to stay tuned, and we will talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching.